Just assumed I'd play the part.
Hello and welcome to the Board Game Bunker, where this week we are playing Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, a social deduction game by Jolly Thinkers. They are a great publisher for social deduction games. We will play one later on in the series by them as well. This is a social deduction game where we're going to play as policemen trying to find a murderer. However, one of the people among us is the murderer, and I will show you just how we're going to play that game right now. Welcome to Hong Kong. It's very dark here. It's a board. Normally the way the game starts is these cards are shuffled and everyone gets dealt a card. Now these cards are the forensic scientist, the investigator, or the murderer. And I say that at the start of the game everyone gets one of these cards. We are playing with someone that did not wish to be on camera that much for these games, so for the purposes to make it easier to make them be able to sit off camera but still take part in the game, they were going to be the forensic investigator. So we're not doing that step in the video, but that is normally done before the game starts. You will take these cards and you will look at them secretly. This person's the murderer, this person's the investigator. There would obviously be more players than a two-person game, but for a setup and an introduction, I'm just going to show you with that. You then turn over these blue cards that you're giving 4 each off. The blue cards are your murder weapon, and the red cards you again get 4 off, and these are cards that you may have left at the scene of the crime. Everyone has them. I'll leave these cards out of the way so you can see what I've got. So here we have radiation, metal wire, pesticides, and arson. Someone arson about. We then have stuff like a nail, a name card, a mosquito was left behind, or a map, so on and so forth. So everyone gets their cards. The forensic investigator normally, however, in this version that we play, I will be doing the hosting because I knew the game better than anyone. It's my game, so yeah, made sense. But normally the forensic investigator will then say, everyone close your eyes. Everyone around the table will then close their eyes. The forensic investigator will then say, murderer, open your eyes. So this player would open their eyes. Everyone will have already seen what people have got. They'll turn them over and tell people, this is what I've got in my choices. The murderer then has to point at 1 blue card and 1 red card, what they use to commit their murder, what they've left behind. So in this situation, you've got a bite, a punch, towel, everything here. The only thing you can sort of pin on this player is really going to be the towel that goes with any of these. So they might say the metal wire and they left a name card sat around. That's fair enough. They won't say that obviously because people will know who's it. They'll just point at once, they'll point at that, point at that. They don't have to be above each other, it's just where they fell. The forensic investigator will nod and acknowledge they have seen the choice that the murderer has made, and then will tell the murderer, close your eyes. At this point you would normally give the person 5-10 seconds just so there's no tryhards around the table or look into someone's eyes and make sure that their eyes aren't dilating because they've just shut them. Then everyone will open their eyes, and the forensic investigator has this deck of cards. There is 1 purple, there's about 7 green cards in the box, and then a bunch of these orange cards. They will turn them over one at a time. Cause of death. And here the forensic investigator cannot speak. Doesn't explain in the rules why the forensic investigator can't speak, whether the police department hired a mute, there's no explanation why they can't just go, he killed him with wire. Doesn't say. But the forensic investigator, who is deathly quiet but can talk in cards, will go cause of death, suffocation. They were strangled with a wire, so suffocation. You're not going to have a loss of blood, there's no severe injury, illness and disease, no poisoning or an accident, so that's fine. We then flip over the green card. There is about 8 of them, like I say, in the deck. These are locations. There's some descriptive stuff to try and help you pinpoint where the murder would be. So it's a metal wire. You've got a living room, a bedroom, a storeroom, a bathroom, a kitchen, a balcony. You could say it was in a storeroom. There was a metal wire in a storeroom. It's the likely place for metal wire and all that, isn't it? I'd say. You then have these orange cards. Now, they will turn over 4 of these orange cards, which would look like that. I know it's probably, you can't read them on the camera, but I will explain quickly what they are. So, evidence left behind. Is it natural, artificial, written, synthetic, personal, unrelated? Well, we left the visitor's card behind, so I would say it is a personal item. There was a visitor's card. Could be unrelated because it's not them visiting. Then we have sudden instant. Was there a power failure? No, it was a metal wire and there was a power name. Was there a fire? No. Conflict? Maybe. Loss of valuables? No. Scream? Would you scream if you were being strangled? I imagine you probably could get out a few gasps, but I don't know if there would be a scream or nothing. Was it just a silent straight around the neck? I'd say nothing. Nothing happened. It was silent. It was just suffocation. Murderer's personality. Was the murderer arrogant? Were they despicable, furious, greedy, forceful, perverted? I'd say you have to be pretty forceful to strangle someone, or furious. They were furious and they've just strangled someone. They had a falling out, they've strangled someone. Time of death was at dawn, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, or midnight. Sometime in the afternoon. You had to be around to find Wyatt and in a storeroom. It's not going to be night, it's not going to be early morning or dawn, so noon, afternoon. This here is all off the forensic scientist's story. They are going to come up with a story themselves that only they know. They can't say anything. They can't say why they've picked these cards. They can't give any clue as to whether it's to do with the murder weapon or the item left behind. That's got to be done by the investigators, and as that's done, the turn turns to the investigators, who will then all start talking to each other. They will try and clear their name. They will try and state who they think it is, give reasons why, so on and so forth. For example, it was suffocation. This person's going to go, well, a cleaver's not going to suffocate someone, and a punch probably isn't going to suffocate someone, especially if there's loss of blood, severe injury there. The bite, you could have loss of blood. You could have arguably say it was a bite around the windpipe, which is suffocation. It's how big cats take down prey. Maybe. You don't want to sit there and go, it's none of mine, because you look suspicious. The towel, obviously you can't get around the fact that none of them, apart from suffocation, work for the towel. So you will have to say, yeah, okay, the towel could be me. You then have to go through all these and go, well, was it a personal item that killed someone? Was it someone's personal towel from a gym? Was it their hair? Was it soap? You don't normally share soap. Could be toothpicks. Personal item was left behind. That could do with the item. Well, that is evidence left behind, so that one has to be, unfortunately. But some of them, you can say, well, in the afternoon you have a bath in the afternoon, so soap could be left behind. If it's the afternoon, would someone be visiting in the afternoon? You could turn away. Stuff like that. So you go through, you give everyone a chance to speak. Then the game is played over 3 rounds. At the end, to end a round, everyone around the table must have 90 seconds uninterrupted time where they can give their reasonings, explanations of what they think is happening around the table. So this person go, I want my 90 seconds at any time. The rest of the table has to stay quiet, and the forensic investigator will say, your time starts now. They can talk and go, yeah, I think it's the towel, it's in an office building. They can paint a picture. Someone's come in, they've had a falling out, they've left, what was left behind? Personal hair. Hair or toothpicks has been dropped by the person as they've strangled them with a towel in this office place. This person at this point cannot say anything. They cannot talk. If they talk, this person's time either gets paused or restarts. They have to have uninterrupted time to give their case across. So it stops people just shouting over each other saying that's not true. Everyone gets a chance to play. It eases in newer players as well that way, to just let you sort of say you're not going to be spoken over, you're not going to be just shouted over if you're shy or whatever. You get a chance to point your case across. No one else can talk. Then at the end of the round, when everyone's had a go, the forensic investigator can go, well, I think that, the murderer's personality isn't helping you get to where you want to go. So they take that one away. You can still remember what was on that card, obviously, because it's been said, and they draw a new one. So the victim's identity, were they a child, a young adult, middle-aged, a senior, male or female? A middle-aged person. The picture in their head could be that they've strangled their boss at work. That's what they've gone for. And again, the game will play around saying, well, this now means that it's a middle-aged victim. Middle-aged people may have longer hair, so it could still be hair. They have teeth. Vague. You keep going around, and at any point, again, you can have your 90 seconds before the round can move on. They can replace another one of these cards if they choose to. But at any point during the game, you have your one detective badge, and at any point you can throw in your detective badge and say, I want to make an arrest because for some reason this game is played on your last day of work. If you chuck in your detective badge, you simply go, I think it was this person, they have used metal wire and left behind a nail. Or they've left behind a map. It's personal. They've left behind their map. The forensic investigator will then say yes or no. They can't say you've got half right. They can't say anything like that. It's just yes or no, which means if it was a no here, they might have gone, oh, well, maybe it was the pesticides, because this person can carry on talking. They are just no longer a policeman. They can no longer make arrests. They can still talk and help the police out. Or throw them off the scent if they were the murderer. For example, they might be like, well, it must be this, but with a different item. I must have got the wrong item. Someone else can chuck in their badge and go, I think it was the metal wire and whatever one of one. Or they can say it was pesticides in the map. No. And if someone else comes in, metal wire and the card, yes, they have finally got the killer. Obviously, the murderer is not going to vote for themselves. They're going to chuck one out. So say it was the towel and the hair. They know it's not, but it still leaves. It could be toothpicks. They're personal. Could be toothpicks. Get someone to have a go at the towel and toothpicks. And that's the game. It is a beautiful deduction game where it gives everyone the chance to speak up, get their voice heard, and just have a really fun time. It is such a good game. One of my favourite games of all time, this game. So I can't wait to play it. And I hope you enjoy as we play Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
But fuck it, everyone, close your eyes. Murderer, open your eyes and point to one blue murder weapon, one red evidence card. Okay, Sweets, let me know when you've seen it.
But Sweets is the murderer.
You seen it, Sweets?
Okay.
Okay, murderer, close your eyes. And everyone can open their eyes. As the forensic scientist drops all the evidence on the way down.
Whoops, whoops.
Okay, so what was the cause of death?
Suffocation, severe injury.
No breathing. I'm sorry.
Cause of death, suffocation.
Okay, well, we have a green card, which is the location of the crime. Living room, bedroom, storeroom, bathroom, kitchen, or balcony.
Living room. With Colonel Mustard.
I don't believe you. You're like
Duration of the crime. Instantaneous, brief, gradual, prolonged, a few days, or unclear. Prolonged. Prolonged suffocation. Weather, don't know why this will help us. Sunny, stormy, dry, humid, cold, or hot.
Is
Okay.
that bluff?
Victims
Plague.
Victims build large, thin, tall, short, disfigured, or fit. Okay. And the corpse condition: still warm, stiff, decayed, incomplete, intact, or twisted. Twisted corpse.
Mm.
Okay, well, our game begins, and apart from surgery, I think I'm in the clear from suffocation. You can't really suffocate someone with a pistol, a steel tube, or a trophy.
I
I've
reckon
tried.
I reckon you could suffocate
totally
someone with a stick.
suffocate someone with a steel
Yeah.
tube. I'm not
I don't know, the locked room looks pretty bad for you, Brad.
You could probably do it with a surgical operation as well.
That's what I said. The only one is that.
Yeah, the locked room isn't good either. But
Totally
neither is
fine.
mercury poisoning. That's also not looking good for you. What's that one in the little chemistry bottle? What's that?
It's chemicals.
This is chemicals.
Chemicals.
Chemicals could
Yeah.
also be.
What's this one?
Kick.
Kick.
A kick. It's a
Kick.
person
So
kicking.
you just kick someone. Kick them in the throat.
It's a strong kick too.
He's a karate kid.
Right.
Would your throat being no? That wouldn't be suffocation. That'd just be bleeding out.
Yeah, that would bleed out. There'd be loss of blood for a
Yeah.
throat slit. I think there'd be.
See, the murder.
The thing
The
is,
thing that murdered them could be quite obvious. The red card is not obvious from this.
but
Chemicals
thing
in the
I'm
table
thinking-
lamp don't look so good.
the
It's
only
in
thing
the
I'm
living room.
thinking is it says
Why would you have chemicals
suffocation,
in the living room?
You're a killer.
Am I?
If you're a
but
killer.
it says suffocation,
Yeah, I suppose.
and would you
I'm
not
like a meth
say
dealer.
the mercury? You said yourself as poisoning,
Mm.
and poisoning's there.
Oh yeah,
So
good point.
and chemicals probably poisoning as well.
Well, you
Yeah,
could,
but you can
could
also get
mix
chemicals that
bleach
make
with
you suffocate.
ammonia, right?
Yeah,
And make
Ammonia.
yeah, that'd
and
be suffocation.
yeah,
Ammonia and bleach.
Would make
it's chemicals.
that would make bloody hell, what's it called?
Mustard gas.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And that's definitely
Fun fact: you
suffocation.
can ask Google how to not make mustard gas, and it'll tell you how. If you ask it how to make mustard gas, it'd be like, please don't. How do I
I'm
avoid
leaning
making
towards
that?
the
How do you know that?
Prolonged. Sure. Where do we?
I'm leaning towards the chemicals.
I am too with the table lamp
Why table lamp?
because I just figured that'd be in a living room.
There's no living room.
Isn't that the place?
Yeah,
Oh,
Living room.
All right, living room. Yeah, sorry, I missed that one. I was looking at the orange.
yeah,
To be fair.
that is a good point.
Could have wine in the living room.
Could have wine in the living room.
Yeah, true.
Snacks.
I just feel like
Possibly.
suffocation isn't obvious for a poll. I feel like you'd probably go for more like
Bludgeoning.
yeah.
I feel like with surgery, like there's
You do
an
it in the
incision.
living room.
You cannot
I've stood
suffocate.
in the
You
living
can
room.
100% suffocate somebody with a lead pipe.
Well, yeah, you could, but I don't think it would be the most obvious choice to pick in your shoes.
When
I'm
there's
not gonna
severe
say what I was
injury and
gonna
loss
say.
of blood and stuff, then I'd say.
I've also had a lot of
Oh, I need my.
experiences that
I
you
need
guys
to time
probably
out.
haven't.
Yeah,
How much
yeah,
is my
that is
phone?
true.
Let's go a
I
bit.
have. It's been so.
I am leaning
long do we
towards
have
chemicals
till
on the lamp.
You can have as long as you like, but I'm gonna. Then you get 90 seconds. Sorry. In fact, we'll do a minute because I can't be arsed setting a timer for any longer. So you can have a minute to say uninterrupted what you think, and the other, even the person you're accusing can't.
Plus, my boss has a doctorate in chemistry, and he says that he almost died from getting heavy metal poisoning, which he breathed in, which would
It
Sort of-
replaces
sort of
the-
classes as suffocation because it's screwing his lungs over.
Speaking of heavy metal,
Mercury.
Exactly.
I still think with mercury though you would go for
No,
poisoning.
you would do poisoning
Yeah,
with
probably.
mercury because it wouldn't really suffocate you unless you're drowning in it.
Just a big pool in the living room.
Mercury.
I feel like the authorities would know when you're buying that
Yeah.
much mercury.
Yeah, like you could pump like any chemical through the
Ether.
air vents into somebody's. Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. You could pump it into
There's
their
a ton
living
of
room.
chemicals that you could use.
I'm leaning towards the chemistry and
Am I allowed to add any
the,
of
the
this?
chemicals
Oh.
and the lamp.
In the actual game rules, you're supposed to say
Can I-
silent.
can I
It's
use my
meant to be
badge
random who's the
I feel like
forensic
mustard gas would
scientist, like a
disfigure
shuffling
someone as well.
song,
They'd be like
but it's just
scratching
easy.
at their face
Oh
and
yeah,
their
yeah.
body.
Oh yeah,
It would
absolutely.
be absolutely so painful.
So
You
can I
can use
use my badge?
You're actually going to try and make an arrest. There's 3 rounds. You can have like 60
Oh, there's
seconds.
3 rounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after this round, we each get 60 seconds uninterrupted to say who we think it is.
Yeah.
And then Sweets gets to replace one of these orange cards with the top one from the pile.
Oh.
And you
Alright.
add something
Okay.
to it.
Okay.
And you get 3
Do we need
rounds.
to specifically get both cards
Yeah.
right? Okay. Yeah. In which case, I'll hold that
But you
out.
still have to do 30 seconds or 60 seconds before we move on to the next round. So
I think
everyone
it's
has to do
been
it.
60 seconds.
Well, no, everyone gets to have it go.
Oh, okay.
It's like if you say, I want 60 seconds, no one else can speak and just you speak. But everyone has to do that before we can move on.
I want 60 seconds.
Okay, your time starts now.
I don't know what we do for the 60 seconds. That's
I
my
think
60 seconds.
I think you have to try to guess or plead the case on why you think your guess is right.
Oh, I think it's chemicals and the lamp because I feel like that's fairly obvious.
We've been saying it for the
We've been saying it for the
last
past 5 minutes.
You're
Yeah.
saying it doesn't mean it's necessarily true though.
So yeah, I'll end my 60 minutes.
You're just
now.
gonna end
I'm
it
gonna
now.
end it early. There's no point in me carrying on.
Okay. Well, I'll take my 60 seconds because I think you're all fools! Damn fools! Listen here, boys. Now, what you say is suffocation, eh? You see, there's a wire over there, see? Drop the person. It's a short person. He came in
Where's
to
the
Taylor's
wire?
apartment. Right there, you dumb nuts.
Oh. Fair point.
Small person coming in, it's a hot day. They ask for a glass of water. He goes out to the kitchen. It's twisted. He's twisted round in the kitchen, in the living room. Because it says living room. And what you find in the living room? A lamp, Johnny.
That's a fair point. Yeah, because you definitely fight back if you're getting strangled by a piece of wire, and that might end up.
That would twist your body.
Yeah.
I am done with my 60 seconds.
I'll go next, I suppose.
Okay.
Well, after a barrage of
It was me.
accusations, I actually think it might be good old Ben over here. I think stating that the tube can't be used as a bit of a double bluff is what to put us on the wrong track. So I think probably is red wine and or snacks. I think it's probably snacks because it's more like they have those in the living room, and there's still a bar. That's what I think.
Like you?
Yep.
That is what we call in the business deflecting. And it is okay.
In the business.
You want your 60
Yeah, I
seconds?
guess so.
Okay, you can go.
Yeah, I'm sticking with chemicals and table lamp. Alright, that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So what happens if we play our badge?
So if you want to play your badge, you say, I'm going to make an arrest, and then you can still talk for the rest of the game, but you've basically been fired. It's your last day on the job. It's your one arrest.
So there's no reason to do it now.
What if he's
Okay.
right though?
You could be right,
I mean, unless you think you're 100%
but it's
right.
the next round, so Sweets, you can get rid of any one of these that you think is not helping us, or the humid weather.
Fair enough.
And you're going to replace it with hint on the corpse, head,
Where's my bullet?
chest,
Oh.
hand, leg, partial, or all over.
Stop it. Okay then. You are like my brother. Okay.
So what does that mean? The hint on the corpse.
Whatever Sweets determines it to be. Could be like if there's marks on it, if there's wherever. It could be the location of the injury.
Maybe somebody spat on the corpse afterwards. They really dislike the player or the person.
Might be.
The
Is it a hint
I
on
was
the
going to say
corpse?
the player, and then I was like, but no players died.
If there's a hint on the corpse, they might have red wine on their leg.
True.
Maybe we'll see wire marks.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see burns all over the body.
Or maybe the lamp was on.
On the hand, was that hand?
Head.
Okay.
Hand?
Yep, hand.
Huh.
Okay. Well,
Don't know if that helps.
do we have any sort of like locked rooms in the living room?
Okay, well, if there was a mark on their hand, I doubt it's chemicals.
Yeah. Do you think that
I feel like
grabbing the wire,
getting their fingers under the wire, trying to get it off, could be correct.
I feel like nothing there screams suffocation.
Yeah.
These are all pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Locked room
And
maybe,
plague.
and plague,
Yes.
suffocation, surgery, and apparently the steel tube. Even though I think I'm an idiot, I would just club someone over the head with a steel tube for that.
Unless it was a ruse.
Could be. But it's not me that would be doing the ruse. It would be the forensic investigator. We're together the entire time. We're like Bonnie and Clyde.
I'm trying to get them to guess, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want us to get.
To be
You're
fair,
on the side of the investigators.
that would
Right.
technically be living room as well, wouldn't it?
Would it?
Iron.
Yeah, because you iron your clothes in the living room.
You do?
I don't.
I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
Do you iron, actually? Because I don't.
I use the laundry room.
I don't either.
You go to the east wing.
If it's wrinkly, it goes back in the dryer.
Or just, hang it up before a shower.
That too.
No,
That light is so temperamental.
I know it is. But
It
we'll
is
be fine.
better with it on, though.
It is better with it on. It's just for some reason that my phone's supposed to connect to it so I can control it, but it keeps disconnecting.
I would like my 60 seconds.
You want your 60 seconds?
I want my
Okay.
60 seconds.
I'll try and get the thing up. Right. Go.
I am pretty sure that we can just say that it is between the wire and the lamp and the pole and either the red wine or the snacks. But if it's going to be on the hand, I think it's more likely to be the wire. The evidence on the hand. There you go.
I'll take mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Brad. It's probably the wire. the hand marks. If it were the chemicals, I think we'd see it all over the face or all over the body.
Yeah, well, their eyes will be like
Yeah.
red and puffy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My 60 seconds.
You're wasting them.
Just got 55 to go. Gonna draw it out. It really just. I was gonna do a bit, but it's taken a bit long. Still got 40 odd seconds left. Just gonna let them simmer. It's my last day on the job, boys. I'm gonna make an arrest. Take my badge. It's the wire and the lamp. Yes.
Correct.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, fair
Give you
enough.
60 seconds.
You don't have to do it in your 60 seconds. I just wanted to prolong the
I
time.
thought it was like you wait until everybody puts down
You can
what
do
they
it
think.
anytime.
Oh, I see.
Anytime you can just jump on it.
Right, fair enough. You son of
I
a
want my
bitch.
60 seconds. You're all
It was
the bunch
funny.
You're a bunch of crooks. You'll
You'll never take me alive!
Never take me alive.
That was our game of Deception Murder in Hong Kong. Join us next week when we'll be playing Poetry for Neanderthals. And until then, ciao for now.